Okay, day 27. 27 days so far of push-ups from Gary V, 12 and a half. He has a push-up challenge, wants to encourages people to do push-ups for 55 days. And I'm on day 27. 27. I keep going back between 26 and 27, but it is day 27, if I haven't said that right. Anyway, last 2 days before this, I was working on tenacity, and that's why I did the push-ups in the snow in my swimming suit when it was 2 degrees below zero, and then the day after that, it was 9 degrees below zero. But today, my neighbor called me last night at about 9:30 and said that he had a problem. My neighbor is now a landlord. He used to live next door to me, but now he and his wife and his kids live in a different house, and they rent the house next door. And they had a sewage problem. The toilet's backed up. Anyway, they had sewage water filled up the toilet. It filled up the bathtub because it was in the basement, and it was a regular mess. We tried to call plumbers, 24-hour services. Nobody will come out until Tuesday. And it was actually a Saturday night. And so I had called someone earlier, a real nice man, his name was Joe, and I had a gurgling noise upstairs. Anyway, I called him, and a lot of people wanted to come out, and they couldn't come out right away. But they all wanted to look at it, and all wanted to charge me over the phone. This guy, Joe, at Cutting Edge Plumbing. Anyway, he asked me if it's been a while since I took a shower upstairs, and I have an Airbnb, and I told him, yeah, actually it has been. It's been like maybe 6-7 months. He goes, tell you what, Phil, run some water in that tub, and then shut it off, then flush the toilet and see if it has the gurgling noise that you're concerned about. So I did that, and the gurgling noise went away. He goes, yeah, you lost water in your trap, that's all. He saved me a ton of money, and he didn't have to do it. He could have done a service call. He could have made me wait. Anyway, I really appreciate it. So I said, can I pay you? And he laughed, and he goes, no. I said, how about donuts? He goes, no. He says, well, actually what you could do is you could give me a good review on Google. So I did that. Anyway, last night, my neighbor and I, we were trying to get a hold of someone, and we couldn't get a hold of him. And it had been so long since I've talked to this Joe at Cutting Edge. I didn't know who it was, and I have tons of contacts in my phone. I didn't have plumber written down there. It was kind of dumb. Anyway, we couldn't get a hold of him until I finally came over here, and I searched, and I found him, and then I called him, but by then it was late, and he was probably asleep. So anyway, I left a message with him, and he called back this morning, and he came over, his worker came over, Chris, and unplugged the drain for my neighbor over there. In the meantime, last night, we ladled and bucketed all the water out of the tub, and went ahead and cleaned up the bathroom as best as we could. And so, at any rate, what had caused the problem is something that I use is the hospital wipes. You call them wet naps, baby wipes, those kinds of things. They say they're flushable, but they're not. They plug up more things, and I used it for years. And what I do now is I take those and I put them in a plastic bag, and I make sure they go into the trash. I try not to throw them into the toilet, because they can plug things up. And it plugged everything up so bad that, first of all, it plugged up the upstairs bathroom tub. There was water up in the tub, and the person that was taking a bath up there noticed that it was backed up, so they stopped. And then pretty soon the water started to rush out. They thought it was good. But then they walked downstairs, and they saw the mess that was downstairs. The bathroom tub was plugged up. The toilet was plugged up. There was even backed up into the sink. So when they came and they snaked all this out, they had to snake out the toilet. And once they snaked out the toilet, they had to snake out the tub because everything had backed up. And then they made sure they snaked out the sink. It costs a lot of money because on a Sunday, And but if we'd have had the number and I'd have called sooner, the owner would have been, Joe would have been up, and he could have sent out a person last night. But everybody else wouldn't come, even though they said 24-hour, 1-hour service, all this. None of them would respond. None of them would come back, would call back. So maybe it's a labor force, maybe it's a labor force issue. I don't know, but it seems a shame that they advertise that they can come out in 1 hour, day or night, and then they don't return calls. But who knows what's going on. But so I'm saying that whole story is because I stayed up until I got done with them, but then I told my neighbors, the ones that are living there now, the tenants of my friend, I told them that if they needed a bathroom, they could certainly come over here. So I left my door unlocked. I had all the lights on. I had the bathroom open, extra towels there if they needed to take a bath. And I also had cleaned it just to make sure it was nice. My whole house here is a wreck right now. I'm doing some repairs and some upgrades. And I work all the time. I'm doing this challenge. I'm trying to better myself. And I'm kind of tired and wore out. So I was up until 4 last night. Then I got up at 9 a.m. because I couldn't sleep and because the plumber came over. And I helped my neighbor. So as far as all this, I'm saying all this whole big thing because that's why I'm implementing these things that is in Gary Vaynerchuk's book, which of course the first one is the 12 and a half, or these 12 and a half ingredients for emotional leverage. Again, I always have trouble with this. It is 12 and a half, leveraging the emotional ingredients necessary for business success and for life success. And instead of just reading the book like I did, I'm trying to implement these things. And that's why the book also has little projects and challenges and things to do. And one of them was the push-ups. And of course, I'm going to do one at a time as opposed to do all of these different things. But I'm trying to implement gratitude, self-awareness, accountability, optimism, empathy, kindness, tenacity, curiosity, patience, conviction, humility, ambition, and kind candor. All of these I struggle with, but I'm very grateful for my neighbors next door. I'm grateful for the Ben and his wife and his kids that I've known for years, who used to live there, who still own the house. But I'm also grateful for the new tenants that are over there. They take care of the place and they're very helpful. And so I was happy to help them. And it felt good. It was also good to find that plumber who helped me and is a good guy and had done things for me. So I don't really know. Maybe humility, ambition, maybe conviction to help, and being patient. Curiosity, that I use when I'm trying to learn something new and it's difficult. And I'm struggling still to read and write. I'm 66 years old. And so that's what I'm really struggling to do right now is struggling to get better at reading, to not be afraid of it, to start to enjoy it, to really master it, really be good at and master spelling, and then being able to write and work on my penmanship. And then once I get that, then maybe I can concentrate more on sentence structure and an outline. Those things have always been difficult for me, because I am dyslexic, and I do have a trouble with organization. I have trouble with if I memorize something, I can memorize it, but it's in the order it gets messed up, and then it's hard to memorize. So I'm working with Jim Quick, his book, Limitless, and that has a workbook that comes with it, but I'm using the Audible book. So I need to buy, I think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to buy Jim Quick's actual physical book. I'm going to also buy Jim Quick's workbook. And then I'm also getting some video equipment because I'm going to be taking a video class with Casey Neistat that's online. So all these things I'm talking about is a journey that I'm going through, and I'm trying to become a better man by doing hard stuff and exercising and doing those little bitty stressors, by taking cold showers, and it's actually changing my life. It's changing my life for the better. And so implementing gratitude and then self-awareness and just plain awareness and being accountable to myself by doing things that I say I'll do, by doing these push-ups. So I'm going to go on ahead and do these push-ups now, and then I'll probably stop. This is an 11-minute video. Again, I'm just documenting this. It's probably duller than ditch water for someone to want to watch this, but it's out there. It's out there. Maybe somebody will find this helpful someday. I hope you do. Certainly, there was a time in my life that I would have liked to have seen this. Someone give me this information and actually see it done in person, then watch and see if it is actually worthwhile and paying off. Because that's really what our parents do. Our parents show us how to live. They might tell us, oh, do this, 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 but we never do it. And because they didn't do it, and because it's not proven, but we can see what they do. Even if what they do is fucked up, we can still see that it might have been fucked up, but it worked. But it's really not the most healthy thing to do. And we want to, or I want to, or it's written in psychology books and everywhere, basically, that normally our brains have evolved to where we want to run toward pleasure and avoid pain. Makes sense. It kept us safe and it kept us alive. But life was a lot harder then. It's easier now. There's not a tiger out the door, that we have to worry about dying. There's still other stressors, but it's a lot easier. And our lifestyle is different and move forward faster than our brains. So what the ancient philosophers said, who are in Stoic philosophy, they say that hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. And I've made many easy choices in my life. I'm the guy that would sit at the table and eat extra and then sit back and not do anything and watch TV and just eat chips. And I've been that. I was a heavy kid, and then I decided to start jogging because that was popular in the 70s. And that helped me to reduce my weight and to be more careful on how I ate and took care of myself. But then again, I do other things. So I'm just trying to better myself here at age 66. And at any age, you can better yourself. And at any age, you can learn. In fact, there's really no alternative. You just get tired of living in a shitty life, or you get tired of hurting, or you get tired of buying medications that just mask the symptoms but don't really fix the problem. So with work, hard work, with diet, with right sleep, those things can change. And so I'm rambling because I'm super tired, but I can't seem to sleep because I'm anxious. So I'm going to start my day and do what I can and pray for my niece. My niece's mom is still in the hospital with COVID-related pneumonia, and she's doing a lot better. I'm praying for her every waking moment. When I work nights, I make sure to pray for her, and that is helping. That is helping. I have also learned to pray differently. I've learned to pray for all of us humans and for myself to have our hearts and minds change to be in line with the infinite, which is God, or the infinite, which is infinite intelligence with the divine. So instead of just asking for, oh, I want a new car or I want this person to live, I just ask if it's worthwhile, if it's beneficial to my niece's mom, please give her a second chance. Please help her. Please know that we all love her and want her to get better, because I think everybody deserves a second chance, regardless of what. We all do. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm documenting this journey. It's been kind of a eye-opening day, but my house is still a wreck. I'm still struggling with organization and reading. I have papers everywhere, so I really need to address that today. I'm also trying to fix the moldings on my staircase. So I've got one more day off left, and I'm already tired, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm gonna do these push-ups here. Make sure I'm in a frame. That's 38. I could probably do a little more, but anyway. I wanted to do at least 60, unless I go a little extra just to punish myself because I didn't feel like doing it. Also, a little extra so in case I got off on my count. And I'm tired, and I really didn't feel like doing that. And I still don't. And I find that when I do the cold shower, I should show you it. My foot got caught up in the rug that I have here. And it was messing with me, and you couldn't see it. But I find that when I do something like push-ups in the snow, and I dread it, or these push-ups here, and I'm dreading it. And when I get done, I think, okay, I'm done. I should feel good about it. And I do for a few minutes, but then after that, it's the same day. Whether I did the push-ups or I don't do the push-ups, it's still, after that, it's the same day. The hands are hurting, the feet are hurting. Like right now, my breath is fast. Some of my muscles are a little fatigued and feel some uncomfortableness in my body because of that. But after that all goes away, it's like, okay, I did that. I have self-confidence, and I have gained credibility with myself, which is nice, and my body has gotten used to doing some of these exercises, so it doesn't crave it. And you do kind of get greedy, especially if you do exercises like this, vigorous exercise. If you don't do it, your body misses it. You get a little anxious and grumpy, and so you get greedy when you do things, even if you don't like it. Your body kind of enjoys it. So if I don't take a cold shower today, I will miss it. But I'm kind of giving myself a pass today. If I decide I don't feel like doing a cold shower, I'm not gonna. If I feel like I'm not gonna feel like doing my yoga, I might not. Because I have to get on the fact that I've got to clean this house. I've got to get these papers done. So this is a journey that I'm going through. I don't want to do any of this shit. I am basically the laziest person on the fucking planet. But I'm finding that when I do these, my life gets better and I feel better. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm documenting this. I started to go on a rant yesterday about when I was an actor, and I forgot one of the main points in that. And that main point is, I never really become comfortable with anything. Even when I was an actor, there was a part that when I'd get a job and I'd walk in and they wanted to do a play a certain way, or for example, I was doing Smoke on the Mountain play about a family that plays musical instruments and goes from church to church, and they talk, and it's kind of comedy, and it's a cute little play. But the family members, one person plays the guitar, one person plays the banjo, one person plays the violin, another person chunks on the piano, and then they switch because they've all been playing these instruments for their whole lives. And so when I came into the show, I had only played guitar. And so then they were saying, what other instruments do we think you want to play? Because in 2 weeks, you're going to have to play either the banjo, the mandolin, or chunk on the piano. What do you do? Well, I picked a few, and then I had 2 weeks to learn. And every show that I did for the 10 years that I was a actor doing live stage productions, every show I walk in, there was something that would happen. I think, I'm never going to be able to do this. This is just too fucking overwhelming. Costume changes were the worst. You come in, you practice the play, and then suddenly one night you have to do the costume changes, and there's no way you can get it all done. But the next night, it goes so much smoother. And within 3 nights, suddenly it's like, gee, what was I worried about? This is simple. And at the end of the Smoke on the Mountain, after the 2 weeks, I was playing guitar, I was playing banjo, I was playing mandolin, and I was chunking on the piano, and I even played the bass. So when you allow yourself to be confused, when you learn something new, you open up your mind, you don't think of anything else, because it's like what the ancients say in the Eastern philosophy, you can't fill up a full cup. You have to empty the cup, and then you can fill it. Knowledge is that way. You can't use the knowledge you have now to help you in knowledge that's completely different. Like, I'm an auto mechanic. Well, that's great. But if I suddenly want to become a new chef, or I want to do something with chemistry, that mechanical knowledge, while some of it might be a minute, the art of critical thinking is good, and while some of the mechanical things are still applicable, most of it is completely different. And so I have to not apply what I know or try to prove what I know is going to fit in. I just have to completely blank my mind and be open to learn something completely new and different. And that's what I think is what makes children learn quicker than adults, because adults keep wanting to add on to the knowledge or confirm the knowledge they have. They're not so quick to change and to be open to something new, where a little kid doesn't care. A little kid wants to learn to play basketball, but they also want to know what an apple tastes like. And they're just curious, and they don't judge themselves. So I think it isn't the fact that older people don't like to learn new things or say they can't learn new things. It's they don't want to let go of what the knowledge they have. They don't want it to be challenged. They don't want to tweak it. They don't want to look and see that things have progressed and we've learned more that's actually more efficient. And so I think that might be the issue more than what, and then having a limited mindset. I think that's more important, or that's more the issue of people my age and older. 66 years old is what I am now. But I think that's the issue, that it's not that we don't like learning new things. I know a lot of my friends like learning new things. But I also know that most of them are more resistant to change. And they also want to hang on to the familiar. And I think that's true with all humans. But I think that holds them back. Certainly holds me back. 26 minutes. Nobody's ever going to watch this. But it's a documentation in one's man's journey of trying to get out of insanity. Anyway, have yourself a good day. Bob out. Bye.